Okay, we are going to call the 4/27, 2020 special meeting of the West Hartford Town Council, and this is our public hearing on the budget. So now the hearing will come to order. I am going to start by saying good afternoon, everybody, and this is truly history we are making. I am Mayor Sherry Cantor, and I'm welcoming you to the first ever virtual public hearing of the West Hartford Town Council. The purpose of this hearing is to receive comments from the public on the 2020-2021 fiscal year budget as proposed and amended by the town manager, which is available on the town website. Because in-person attendance at public meetings is likely to increase the risk of transmission of COVID-19, this hearing is being conducted in accordance with Governor Lamont's Executive Order number 7B. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Ms. Blanks is absent. Ms. Cantor?
Here.
Mr. Davidoff?
Here.
Ms. Fay? Ms. Fay? Mr. Gold?
Present.
Ms. Kerrigan?
Councilor Kerrigan here.
Mr. Sweeney? Mr. Sweeney?
Here.
And Mr. Winograd?
Here.
And Mr. Williams? Mr. Williams? Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. This is Mayor Cantor again. Because of the virtual format of the hearing, there are some special rules and procedures that I need to cover before we begin. First, phone access is only intended for members of the public who wish to actively participate and provide comments. For everyone else, the meeting is being broadcast live on television on West Hartford Community Interactive Comcast Channel 5 and Frontier TV Channel 6098 and streamed live on www.whctv.org. Again, if you do not plan to participate or comment, please hang up your phone now and instead listen to the hearing on TV or the internet. So if you can, you need to hang up. Thank you so much. For the members of the public who are still on the phone, there's no need to mute your device. The meeting moderator will keep everyone's lines muted until it is your turn to speak. If you mute your own line, the moderator may not hear your voice when she calls for comment. Second, when the public comment portion of the meeting begins, the moderator will prompt everyone who wishes to comment to say their name. This is the equivalent of raising your hand. The moderator will call on one of the people who said their name, and it will be their turn to speak. That person must then restate their name and provide their street address. Only West Hartford residents and taxpayers are allowed to speak. We will repeat this process until every member of the public who wishes to speak has had a turn. If you are called in and are also streaming the meeting on YouTube or watching on TV, please silence your other devices when you speak. Otherwise, there will be an echo because there is a slight delay in the TV and streaming broadcast. Third, all speakers shall be confined to 3 minutes each. Will play a bell or a chime when you have 30 seconds left so that you may begin to wrap up. Out of respect for everyone who wishes to speak, time limits will be strictly enforced. Fourth, the sole purpose of this hearing is to receive comments from the public. There will be no back and forth between members of the public and the town council. Members of the town council will have the opportunity to discuss and debate the budget during upcoming budget workshops and, of course, during the budget adoption meeting itself. All comments must be germane to the 2020-2021 fiscal year budget, and I ask everyone to please be respectful. Obscene, offensive, or threatening language will not be tolerated. Anyone who violates this rule will receive a warning, and if the conduct continues, I will ask the moderator to mute that person's phone line for the remainder of the evening, or of the meeting, sorry. If the violation is egregious, the person will be muted immediately. Fifth, I would like to remind everyone that for the first time ever, we are including an email option for public comments on the budget this year. Instructions for emailing comments are available on the town website. We will also hold one other live public hearing on April 30th at 6 p.m. using the same format as today. And finally, I also want to thank everyone in advance for your patience. This is a brand new process, and we are all learning from this experience. There are bound to be some bumps and glitches along the way, but we remain committed to the principle of open and transparent government, and we will strive to ensure that every resident and taxpayer has a meaningful opportunity to provide input on the budget. This is one of the most challenging and difficult times in our history of the town of West Hartford and actually for our country. We are a strong, resilient community, and my heart is filled with pride every day by the generosity of residents that I see everywhere I turn. We're grateful for the selfless work of our first responders, frontline medical workers, and all the essential workers that are keeping our lives moving forward. From our firefighters, paramedics, to our police officers, nurses, doctors, and other healthcare workers, grocery store workers, postal workers, delivery persons, truck drivers, we all stand with you. Our hearts are with you. To our treasured small businesses, restaurants, arts and theater groups, cultural organizations, and other nonprofit organizations, you are the fabric of our community, and you have my word that the town will do everything possible to support you and help you recover as we navigate our path through this very challenging time. And with that, the town has endured lots of challenges, including an American Civil War, both world wars, Great Depression, and other global disease pandemics. In each instance, we emerge stronger, and we will after this one, this challenging period too. With that, Madam Moderator, please initiate the public comment portion of the public hearing, and thank you all for participating.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Participants make comments one at a time. You will be asked to speak by stating your name when prompted. If you are recognized, you will be asked to restate your full name, street address, and state whether you are speaking in your individual capacity or as the duly authorized representative of a group. Any caller who wishes to comment, please state your name now.
Chuck Corsi.
Thank you, Mr. Chuck Corsi. It is your turn to speak. Please restate your name, provide your street address. You have 3 minutes to speak unless you are speaking as the duly authorized representative of a group. Your time starts now.
Good afternoon. My name is Chuck Corsi, and I reside at 21 Walbridge Road in West Hartford. I speak today as president of the West Hartford Public Library Foundation. First off, I'd like to thank the council and the town staff for their strong and thoughtful leadership during this very difficult time. I know my friends, family, and neighbors share my gratitude for all of you, West Hartford's trusted and hardworking public servants. My comments today are in response to the document Amendments to the Town Manager's General Fund Proposed Budget for Fiscal Year 2021, dated April 20th, and the Town Manager's Budget in Brief, also dated April 20th, that was presented to you at last Monday's Town Council meeting. The library community understands the urgency to cut expenses during these challenging times and is willing to do our fair share. Our libraries are being asked to take a 9% reduction in funding from the town. That's the second largest cut of any town department. However, my concern is less with the amount of the cut and much more with how we are being asked to achieve it. In the past, when the town has established budget cuts for town departments, it has been left to the department director to identify the impact of the cuts and, more importantly, where the cuts should be made. This has allowed town directors, who know their departments best, to make cuts with the least impact to services. Previously, in the library's case, the library director would work through a number of options to show how each would impact the services provided by the library using their knowledge of their operation to align the targeted budget with community needs as much as possible. This has not been the case for the library this year. The document presented to you last week indicated that all of the cuts to the library budget must be from the temporary payroll allocations. A reduction in the personal line solely will directly impact hours of operation, which negatively impacts access to needed services available for the public. Further, the amount of the proposed reduction increases the digital divide at a time when library services are more important than ever. West Hartford's 21st century public libraries do far more than check out books for public use. These cuts will limit accessibility to the library and library resources, specifically public computers used to look for jobs, apply for citizenship, apply for unemployment, and find health insurance.
20 seconds.
The problem is exacerbated by the fact that the library will have to reduce the number of computers and meter their use in order to keep people appropriately distanced from each other. This will be labor intensive and will require more staff time than in the present. A Harris poll conducted at the time of the last recession found that library uses during the period was exceptionally high and that significant numbers of users reported using library resources to look for jobs, apply for jobs, and create resumes and to learn new skills. Madam Moderator, I asked that I be allowed 5 minutes since I represent the library. It should also be noted that the library department has stepped up and provided important services during the COVID-19 crisis. As of last Friday, library staff have fielded over 1,000 calls, texts, emails from residents since March 16th. Over 30% of those have been requests for information about various town departments and services other than library services. It's also worth noting that many callers are trying to find a place to use a public computer or otherwise need computer help. Library staff has provided administrative and graphic support for the town's webpage and social media sites, such as Eat Local, Win Local initiative. They are maintaining subject-specific lists of vetted information resources available to all on the library's webpage. Library staff are also working with fire department and emergency management team, providing additional crisis-related clerical support as well as assisting with PPE distribution, calling elderly and isolated residents. And then there is the business as usual activities, expanding our collections of downloadable materials and assisting users with the use of phone or text and running library programs virtually, story times, craft programs for kids, book and magazine discussions, and many others. If the library is asked to cut its budget by over 9%, again, the second largest cut of any department, I respectfully ask that the library director be given the ability to use her decades-long knowledge of our libraries to determine where the cuts should be made with the least impacts possible. Again, thank you for your hard work and leadership during these difficult and challenging times, and thank you for the opportunity to express the West Hartford Public Library's concerns. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Corsi. Next caller, Moderator.
Any caller who wishes to comment, please say your name now. Caller? Okay, we'll move on to the next one. Any caller who wishes to comment, please state your name now.
Joanne Palmer, 181 Ridgewood Road, West Hartford.
Thank you, Mrs. Palmer. It's your turn to speak. Please restate your name, provide your street address. You have 3 minutes to speak unless you are speaking as a duly authorized representative of a group. Your time starts now.
I'm Joanne Palmer. I live on Ridgewood Road in West Hartford. I am a West Hartford taxpayer, and I'm seeking 2 pieces of information, which I hope it'll be possible to make known to the public. My copy of the Town of West Hartford Budget Education Department, page 15-1, only lists summaries, no details. What I'd like to know is, are school openings planned to be staggered as they currently are, or is a new single opening time planned in this budget? If a new single opening time is planned, what is the budget increase amount? I was unable to reach 6 out of 7 board members because their numbers are non-functional on the sheet that lists their names. Second question, West Hartford Bloomfield Health District budget was not included in the 2021 West Hartford budget book. And thanks to Ms. McHugh, I finally received a copy of the West Hartford Health budget. This 3-sheet item, or this budget, was sent to me, which states West Hartford pays $808,102 and Bloomfield $273,997. My question is, why does the West Hartford budget so much more than Bloomfield, and Bloomfield pays so much less? I'd be very interested in knowing that. And I also have a suggestion that any West Hartford government, budget, etc., print announcements on West Hartford Community Television need to be shown much more often so that the citizenry will be informed of when their opportunities to provide input and communicate are available. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ms. Palmer. Appreciate that. Next caller, moderator.
Thank you. Any caller who wishes to comment, please state your name now. Any caller who wishes to comment, please state your name now. Okay, moving on. Caller, if you wish to speak, please state your name now. Please state your name now. Any caller. Any caller who wishes to comment, please say your name now. Any caller who wishes to speak, please say your name now.
Jill Spear.
Thank you, Ms. Spear. It's your turn to speak. Please restate your name, provide your street address. You have 3 minutes to speak unless you are speaking as the duly authorized representative of a group. Your time starts now.
I am Jill Spear. I live at 30 Wardwell Road. I am also chair of the West Hartford Library. First off, I'd like to thank the town council as well as the many town employees who are working so hard to address the many health, safety, and economic challenge the pandemic has brought to our very doors. Second, I'd like to recognize the innovation the town leadership has demonstrated in its use of resources, in particular leveraging the expertise and resources of the town library as a communication hub for the community. With that as a backdrop, I'd like to address my concern about the proposed budget for the town library. As Mr. Corsia says, the amount of reduction is certainly large, and I question if its proportionality to the reductions in other essential municipal departments is equitable. For the library services not only benefit individuals, but the town as a whole. They're essential, as the recent enhanced use of it as a communication center is shown. I've spent the last several days examining numerous studies of the effects of public libraries have on peoples and communities, so I would not speak today with a knee-jerk reaction supporting a much-loved institution. And I have come away feeling even more strongly about the important role public libraries plays in our life and society, that they are more than just institutions that provide enjoyable leisurely services and cultural vitality. They provide economic solutions and informed electorate, civic engagement, and form a cohesive community by actively integrating people with diverse backgrounds, government efficacy, and a particular importance now, providing resources for emergency preparedness and response. They are essential, and I have no reason to doubt that town recognizes that. My concern is, again, as Mr. Corsi's, is that the way the budget directive is, that it will impact the library hours, thereby diminishing our ability to support public health as well as emergency preparedness. In addition, our residents' opportunities to participate in labor market is diminished. Our mayor has said that library is the kitchen of the community, and we pride ourselves on being the town that cares. So I wonder if we shut the doors to the kitchen, how would this community be fed? You have hard choices to make, and I do not envy you this task, but I urge you to take a second look at the proposed budget with creativity and concern. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Spear. I appreciate the comments. We have a new council that joined, the Honorable Town Clerk. Can you add a counselor?
Councillor Fay has now joined the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you. Moderator, next caller.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Any caller who wishes to comment, please state your name now. Any caller who wishes to comment, please say your name now. Moving on to the next caller. Any caller who wishes to comment, please say your name now. Moving on to the next caller. Any caller who wishes to comment, please say your name now. Any callers who wish to speak, please state your name now.
Moderator, I would like to just remind the callers on the call that if you are on the call and want to watch the meeting, you can watch it either on WHC Interactive or Channel 5 on Comcast or on Frontier, but only callers that want to speak should remain on the line. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Any caller who wishes to comment, please state your name now. Any caller who wishes to comment, please say your name now. Any caller who wishes to speak may say your name now. Any caller who wishes to comment, please say your name now. Any caller who wishes to comment, please say your name now. Any caller who wishes to comment, please say your name now.
Moderator, I just want to clarify that we have a list of callers. We do not have identifying information. So when the moderator is asking you to speak, she's unmuting one line. So we don't know which line it is. So there may be multiple people speaking, but we will only hear one of you. So please answer when she asks, is there anyone that would like to speak? Because again, that's the only way for us to identify who a line is open and who can speak. And again, a reminder that please stay on the line if you want to speak. If you don't want to speak, it would be much easier for us to manage if you hang up and you listen you connect either on the internet or by television. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Any caller who wishes to comment, please.
I did just receive a text from somebody that said they cannot be heard on the line. There are people trying to call, but cannot be heard through the phone. So I don't know what technical problems. We might want to take a 5-minute recess and try to figure out what is going on. Is that okay?
Yes, Madam Mayor. Their personal cell phones might be muted. If their personal cell phones are muted or phone, when I'm trying to connect with them and unmute them on our end, they may not be heard. But we can certainly take a 5-minute break.
Okay, let's make sure that you remain unmuted. We are muting you. So you remain unmuted and then we will open up. We will try one more time. And if we don't get a caller, we'll take a recess and see if we can figure this out. Thank you so much, moderator.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. A caller has been unmuted. If you wish to speak, please say your name now.
Okay, well, that doesn't, I will say people that have spoken, it would be also helpful if you were to hang up and then we can keep track of the people who have not spoken and we'll try to we're going to try to figure out I'm going to give you the person that called me, Dorita, so you can call up. So we're going to take a 5-minute recess. Hang on. We want to hear from you. Please be patient. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We are working on our issue. We will be back to you in 5 more minutes. Recess for 5 more minutes. Thank you again for your patience. Okay, we are back. We are going to try this again. We understand there has been a little bit of video and audio issues, so we're doing our best. Again, we thank you for your patience. We thank you for your engagement. You know, we just are really doing our best. Moderator, I would like to remind all the callers that are on the call, this is to have input into the public hearing. If you want to watch the public hearing or listen, please either listen online or on the television. And if you already have spoken to us, please hang up the line, then we know who we haven't answered. Moderator, next call. Jarada, I don't know if anyone else can hear you, but I cannot.
I was muted, Madam Mayor. Thank you. I want to thank everyone for their patience because we do not have individual identifying information for the callers. We are unmuting one line at a time, and we are asking everyone who is on the phone to state their name. The person whose name we hear is the line that has been unmuted. The person then is recognized and has the floor. So there are 2 very important reminders. If you do not wish to comment, please hang up the phone and watch TV. Watch it on TV or the internet. The hearing will also be available on demand. If the line is unmuted and there is no speaker, the moderator will remove that caller from the call. Second, if you do wish to speak, it's very important that you say your name when prompted by the moderator. You will have to say your name multiple times until you are recognized.
Moderator, I understand another counselor has joined us, so I'm going to go to the town clerk to call in Mr. Williams.
Counselor Williams has now joined the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. LeBreau. Now back to you, moderator. Thank you, Joretta.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Any caller who wishes to comment, please say your name now. Any caller who wishes to comment, please say your name now. Any caller who wishes to comment, please say your name now.
Okay, so we are still not hearing any of the open lines. So we are going to open multiple lines. And if there are people speaking one at a time, we will then mute the others. And so stay on the line if there are multiple people on the line. Moderator, back to you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Any caller who wishes to comment, please say your name now.
Okay, so we're going to take another 2-minute. I just want to talk to Corporation Counsel to see if there's another way for us to accommodate the callers. So just hang on, 2-minute recess. Okay, I have asked somebody that tried to get through that could not to test the system. So we are going to do this in one more minute. I'm not seeing another call come in yet, but when we do. In the meantime, I would like to highlight the fact that we will take email testimony. Moderator, want to try opening, unmuting again when you see that number come in?
Yes, Madam Mayor.
Moderator, I think we have a call.
You are correct, Madam Mayor.
Hello, Madam Mayor. This is Corporation Counsel Dallas Dodge. I was just checking to make sure that the line is actually working, and I can report that it is.
Thank you, Mr. Dodge. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
Is Mr. Dodge identified as call-in user 22? Yes, he was. Okay, thank you. I see it. All right. So we will give it 2 more minutes for people to call in. The line is working. If you do want to speak to the public hearing regarding the budget, you can call in the number and we will allow you to speak. But we will close the public hearing in just a couple of minutes if we don't have any callers. Just to reiterate, the number is 415-655-0001. That's 415-655-0001.
Madam Mayor, this is the Corporation Counsel. There's also an access code that needs to
Yes.
be entered.
Yes, Mr. Dodge. I was just going to read the access code is 198-025-983. I don't know who's not on mute, but 198-025-983. Thank you. The number and the access code are on the website if you cannot find it, or if you have trouble hearing me at my voice for some reason. It's also on the television from what I understand. So again, we will hold for a couple more minutes to see if we get any calls. Again, the phone number 415-655-0001, access code 198-025-983. Thank you. I do see another caller, moderator. We'll try that one.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Any caller who wishes to comment, please say your name now.
This is Pramod testing out the call since we're working now. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Pramod, and I see it on my end too. Thank you so much. That's very helpful. Okay, be well. All right, I will give it one more minute, and then I will give the email for written testimony that will be part of our record. One more minute. Okay, I see no other activity. Nobody new has called in. If you would like to comment on the budget, on the town manager's revised budget or the superintendent's budget, revised budget as of April 20th, please email comment, COMMENT, at westhartfordct.gov. It will be part of the formal record. So anything that you would have wanted to say in a public hearing, but maybe did not feel comfortable, or we will all see that comment. So thank you very much. And with that, we will leave the public hearing. We will close this session of the public hearing. Public comments we will accept, and the next public hearing will be on April 30th at 6 p.m. We also will be having a finance meeting. This is our budget workshop tomorrow at 6 p.m. That will also be covered on WHCI, so you can watch that. It will not be for public comment. It will be the budget workshop where counselors can ask questions on the budget, and directors will be available to answer questions along with staff. All right. With that, I will thank all my counselors for being here. I want to thank Jerida Reinheimer, our moderator excellence. Thank you. Appreciate that. Town Clerk Nancy Libro and Corporation Counsel Dallas Dodge. We couldn't do this without you. And I know Matt Hart was also on the call, Town Manager. Thank you all very much.